I still remember the night like it happened yesterday. It was late November 2011, the kind of cold that makes your breath hang in the air like smoke. I was driving back from my cousin's cabin near Rapid Creek, cutting through a stretch of forest, road known locally as Hollow Pines. It's the kind of place locals avoid after dark, no lights, no houses, just miles of twisting asphalt swallowed by trees. I'd driven that road dozens of times before, but that night something felt different. The woods were too quiet. Even the hum of my truck sounded strange, like the sound was being swallowed up by the dark. About halfway through, I saw it, a faint light ahead, low to the ground, flickering like a lantern. I slowed down, thinking maybe someone's car had broken down. As I got closer, I realized it wasn't a car. It was a man standing on the shoulder, holding an old oil lantern. He wasn't wearing a jacket, just a thin white shirt, and his skin looked gray under the light. I rolled down my window to ask if he needed help, but before I could speak, he turned toward me, and I froze. His face looked wrong. The eyes were completely black, no reflection at all, and his mouth hung slightly open, like he was trying to breathe. I blinked, and he was gone. Just the dark road and the hum of my engine. My hands were shaking as I pressed the gas and kept driving. I told myself it had to be a trick of the light, or maybe I was tired. But then, in the rearview mirror, I saw the lantern again, glowing faintly behind me, floating in the road like it was following. My stomach turned to ice. I pressed harder on the pedal, the engine roaring, but the light didn't fade. It kept up, matching my speed, then suddenly swerved off the road into the trees and vanished. When I finally reached the main highway, I pulled over to catch my breath. My phone had no signal, and I remember staring at the tree line, trying to convince myself it hadn't happened. But as I sat there, a smell hit me, faint, metallic and sharp like burnt iron. I looked down and saw smudges on my sleeve, dark and sticky, blood. But I hadn't been hurt. I wiped it off, heart hammering, and drove the rest of the way home without stopping again. The next morning, I called the local sheriff's office. They told me no one had been reported missing, but one of the deputies hesitated before hanging up. He said, "You drove through Hollow Pines, right?" I said yes. He sighed and told me something I'll never forget. In 1983, a logging truck had crashed on that same stretch. The driver burned to death when the truck exploded. Locals said he still walks the road at night, lantern in hand, looking for a way out. I didn't believe in ghosts before that night. I used to laugh at those campfire stories. But now, when I take that road, even in daylight, I feel the air change, heavier, colder. I've never seen the lantern again, but sometimes when I roll my window down, I swear I can smell that faint metallic smoke. And if I listen closely, I can almost hear footsteps pacing the gravel behind me. So if you ever find yourself driving through Hollow Pines and you see a flicker of light ahead, don't stop. Just keep going. Some roads were never meant to be traveled after dark.